You know, every single time you stream a movie, or you make a call, or even just scroll through your feed, you're tapping into this massive, invisible, global infrastructure. It's the telecommunications network, right? It's basically the nervous system of our modern world. But what if I told you that that whole system is under this immense hidden strain, that it's starting to crack? All right, let's really get into this. Because what's happening behind the scenes is that the very technology we all depend on, it's literally approaching a breaking point. We're talking about a crisis that's been quietly building for decades. And the scale here, it's just staggering. I mean, look at this number. We're talking about a $1.77 trillion industry. It's a foundational pillar of the entire world economy. It's huge. But then, look at this number. That's how much it costs in labor every single year, just to keep the lights on, to manage, monitor, and fix these ridiculously complex networks. And here's the kicker. This is the really crucial part. Despite those massive, massive costs, the industry's revenue growth is almost zero. So think about that. Costs and complexity are just exploding, but the money coming in is flat. That, right there, is a recipe for a completely unsustainable crisis. Okay, so let's really break this crisis down. The thing is, for decades, this entire industry has been trapped in a model that, well, it just doesn't work anymore. So here's the core problem, right? The technology itself, we're talking everything from fiber optics to 5G, it's just evolving way, way faster than our human ability to manage it. And that old approach, just throw more engineers and more expensive software at it, well, that has completely hit a wall. And this creates some very real day-to-day pain for the folks inside these network operation centers. I mean, just imagine this. You've got teams of brilliant, highly skilled engineers working 24/7. And what are they doing? They're basically just watching dashboards, firefighting one endless alert after another. It can take hours to solve problems. Customers expect 5 nines, perfect uptime, and of course, the budgets are totally frozen. Oh, and to top it all off, the old school experts are retiring, and guess what? Nobody wants these jobs. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, surely someone has tried to fix this, right? And yeah, they have. They absolutely have. But the reality is, for decades, the industry has just been sold one broken promise after another. Let's actually walk through this evolution, because it tells a story. Back in the 90s, we had the management era. This was all about human experts, reacting to problems after they happened, purely reactive. Then in the 2010s, we got the observability era, and this one promised to be proactive. Big promises. But in reality, it just gave us prettier dashboards to watch while we kept on reacting. Both of those eras were stuck at this super frustrating 10% automation ceiling. They just couldn't break past it. But now, things are changing. We're entering what's called the AI native era, where the tool itself, it actually becomes the productivity. It becomes the solution. And this is where you see the difference in black and white. It's such a stark contrast. You've got the old way from the legacy vendors, right? And what they do is they try to retrofit AI, basically bolt it onto 30-year-old code. It's slow, it requires millions of dollars in consulting, and honestly, their business model kind of depends on things being complicated. But then you have the new way, the AI native way. We're talking about platforms like Rapax, which are built with AI at their very foundation. It's off-the-shelf software. The time to see real value is measured in weeks, not years. And the whole point is to make the customer self-sufficient. So, let's meet the team that makes this all possible. This is the whole vision for what's called the Lights Out NOC, a network operations center run not by an army of people, but by a specialized team of purpose-built AI assistants. And honestly, this Tesla analogy is just perfect for getting your head around this. Think about it. A Tesla doesn't just automate cruise control, right? No, it understands the entire driving environment. That's the massive leap we're talking about here. It's a system that makes intelligent, holistic decisions, and it learns over time, all while keeping the human engineers firmly in the driver's seat for the big stuff. Okay, first up on the team is Wade. Wade is the fault detective. So when an alarm goes off, Wade doesn't just show you a little red light, a symptom. No, Wade performs real-time root cause analysis to tell you exactly what broke and, more importantly, why it broke. Next up, meet Lane, the topology manager. Lane's entire job is to automatically discover and maintain a perfect, living, breathing map of the whole network. So no more relying on some diagram that was made 6 months ago and is totally out of date. This live map, this is the absolute foundation for any intelligent automation. Then we have Shane, who is the service specialist. Now, when something breaks, Shane instantly answers probably the most critical question of all. Who is actually affected by this? And that right there is a game changer because it allows the system to prioritize problems based on real customer impact, not just some random alert. And leading the whole AI team is Oscar, the operations supervisor. Think of Oscar as the boss. Oscar coordinates the other assistants, manages the entire workflow, and only, and this is key, only escalates an issue to a human expert when it's a truly gnarly problem that actually needs their brainpower. And finally, there's Bruce, the customization engineer. You know how every network has its own little quirks and special rules? Well, Bruce is the one who handles all those unique integrations and rules. And the cool part is, Bruce does it using natural language. This completely eliminates the need for those million-dollar, multi-year consulting projects. So look, an AI operations team is a really fascinating concept, for sure. But what does it actually mean for the bottom line? Let's talk about the money, the economics, because this is where the AI native approach really builds its most powerful case. I mean, this table right here, it tells the whole story. If you look at the legacy approach, that initial software cost, that's just the tip of the iceberg. The real costs are all hidden, buried in maintenance, administration, and these just massive consulting fees. Now, the modern AI native approach, yeah, the subscription cost looks a little higher up front, but look what it does. It pretty much eliminates all of those other hidden expenses. And the result? It's absolutely staggering. We're talking about almost $3.4 million in savings over just 3 years. That's a 60% reduction in the total cost of ownership. So you see, this isn't just a small technological improvement. It's a fundamental shift in the entire economics of how you run a network. So where does this whole revolution lead? What's the end game? Well, it leads to a future where the entire operational model of telecommunications is just completely transformed. And this is that vision we talked about, the lights out knock. And I want to be really clear here. This is not about getting rid of engineers. It's about elevating them. It's about taking our smartest network minds out of that endless, reactive firefighting loop and finally freeing them up to focus on what they do best: innovation, optimizing the network, and actually planning for future growth. And this quote really frames the future perfectly. This transformation isn't an if, it's a when. It's already happening. The technology has finally matured enough to solve these problems that have plagued the industry for decades. So the only real question left is, who's going to lead the way? Which leaves us with one last kind of provocative thought to chew on. If a deeply entrenched trillion-dollar industry can finally solve a problem it considered basically impossible for 30 years, well, what other unsolvable problems in all sorts of other industries are suddenly on the table now, all thanks to mature AI?